Well, it's about time to get started. We just rolled up on the job. Kind of a little different deal than what we usually do, but like I said, I try to accommodate everybody with what we do, the equipment we buy. Let's do a little history lesson real quick. About 7 years ago, right here on this side of the fence, we cut a huge job of walnut timber. I mean, just a huge job. In 54 highway, it's which you might be able to hear it. It's just right across. It's right up the way, not even about a half mile over there, let's say. So we'd already worked in this area quite a bit. We've cut a lot of timber right in here down this little ditch. Then there's another creek it runs into, and they were just full of walnut, good walnut. It was a really, really good job. So this lady's putting in a new house here, getting ready to put in a new house or whatever, and she had some walnut trees. Take a look at that thumper. I mean, they uprooted them just because they wanted the stumps out of the ground. That was something I just couldn't do, but she's got like 2 acres here, but I mean, that tree there, that's a good tree, but that thing's a beast. Just an absolute beast. That one there, that is another giant. I think there's 4 or 5 of them all together. I was wanting to cut a couple of these, but this here trailer house is in the way, so that's not going to happen, or we'd crunch it like a beer can. We don't need to be doing that. Man, those are big trees, and where they had a track go in here and dug these out and cleared the lot out. Of course, they made a mess of the brush pile. We've got the brush grapple on. We'll make nice, neat work of that. Let's jump over here. I'm gonna hop the fence. Like the Olympian I am. I mean, what a chunk of wood. That thing's huge. That is a big, big log. That is going to look very, very nice sitting on the yard. Of course, they tore into a little bit pushing, which I don't like it, but it ain't going to hurt it terribly. We've even got material on the limbs up here. Like I said, we'll clean all this up nice and neat. Cut it up, put it in little burn piles for that hog. Man, that's a beast too. That's a big chunk of wood. Big chunk of wood. It's got a beautiful stump on it. Beautiful stump. Nice bell stump on it. Got a lot of swirl in it. Of course, years ago, that was a big deal, the stump market. Not so much anymore, but big tree. Big trees. These big trees, when they're uprooted on the ground, it's not necessarily that they're hard to cut, but it's hard to cut and make them look good, which bugs me to death. I cut you can see the stump up there, that first big tree that was down, and it cut really good. It cut solid the whole way through, but that stump's so big, it's hard to get straight cuts on it, cutting it on its side like that. And I did a terrible job on the stump. I kicked myself for that. I hate that. I mean, it was, we had to go in with an axe and bark it just because all the dirt and rocks been pushed up into the bark when they pushed it over. So it makes it hard to cut off and hard to do it, not hurt your chain, dull your chain, or ruin your chain. So I kicked myself for that. But you can see the back up here a little bit. This backup camera is the greatest thing in the skid steer. It is the greatest thing. Dad's getting ready to follow this next big one here, and you can see I got all the mess cleaned up there. If you can, there, we're better than that. Come on. Yeah. You can see things now. I can see things now. Get all the bugs off our windshield. Dad's assessing the tree, but turn my windshield wiper off. But yeah, I got all the brush piled up right here. They want it all piled up, not real tight, because they said they want to cut it for wood for the burn pile. Well, Dad's signaling me, so I got to go up here real quick. Hold on. It come down. I thought I was going to have to get on the backside and push, but we got just enough of a southern wind today. It helped it come on down. is leaning that way anyway. You can see there my slouch job on the stump. I'm not proud of that, not happy with that at all. Look at that. That is embarrassing, what that is. Embarrassing, but man, they are. These things are hard to cut when they're like that. If they've got a big stump like that, they're hard to bring down. They are. I've got to get those out of there, get all this piled up, back in there. I'm gonna grab the 88 here and get the buck in this treetop up with Dad. There is a lot of work that goes into cutting these tops up so you can pile the brush good. Compared to the type of cutting we usually do, where it's drop and top, man, there's a lot of sawing involved, but it's worth it because when it packs up nice, you got a nice neat brush pile. It's well worth it. Now, let me open the door here. Now, pay attention now, all the brush there, even brushing that tree. The next time I turn this camera on, it's gonna look a lot different, So let's get to work. I'm hot. It's gonna be up in the 90s again today, and this air is the place to be.
Power lines.
Okay, well, about an hour and a half later, this is kind of what it looks like. An hour and a half and 2 more trees that were cut. Cleaned up pretty good. Of course, there's some leaves and some real fine stuff that's hard to get with the old grapple, but it's in better shape than what it was when we got here. And that's the main thing. For being 5-6 tree tops there, I think that bunched up pretty good, and the stumps are in there as well. 2 big stumps. So I think it cleaned up really well. I do. I think it did a good job of cleaning up. It looks a little better. We got plenty of little residual trees like the landowner, like she wanted. She wanted to leave that as a little park, as she said. So we've got that all done. Come up on the old building pad here. No damage done to anything. We packed it down a little more, running over it. You got Dad over here kind of getting the footage and scaling logs. And my dad is not using the Timber Tracker app. Shame on him. He should be, but that's just not my dad's style. So I'm gonna kick the forks on, load the brush grapple up, load up on the trailer, and we're out of here. We'll do a quick rundown on what the log pile looks like, and we'll get out on foot and kind of give an overview of this too. So hang on, shortly, we'll be right back. All right, forks are on, and what I do is I just run right under the brush grapple, and I chain everything down when I get up here on the trailer. So let's see if we can run this thing up on there real quick. Look both ways. Hate to get T-boned. All right, there we go. Approach is good. We have contact. You don't want to get jerky with the joystick when you're doing this. And the brake over. And a little bit further. Humana. Go down with that. A little bit further. Oh, that's perfect. That's gravy. All right, let's boom down. Let's go look at some logs. Okay. Here's a rundown of the log pile. Chunk, bigger chunk, chunks. I'm getting it. Chunks. Good logs for a little yard here. That was Dad yelling at me to get my saw. I already remembered my saw, but it cleaned up really well. It looks better now than when we left it, or when we first got here, sorry. Good looking place here now. And we're eventually gonna come back and cut that one, those 2. We'll grab a couple more over here, but this thing was in the way, so we couldn't cut them. But the 88 did a fine job today. And Precision axes. Those are the axes I carry now from Precision Axe in California. Good axes, lightweight. They're good for barking these dirty trees. There's the brush pile. I'm not sure what that pile of dirt is. It was here when we got here. Yeah, everything Everything looks good. Good looking job. Okay, guys, let's get out of here. What a bunch of trees. Man, them are good trees. 5 of them total. 5 standing trees, or, I mean, three standing trees. 2 of them are pushed over. 5 trees regardless. Good footage, good footage. Carried just about a 300-foot average per tree. Is about what they average. 5 times 3, I'll let you do the math on the overall footage. It was actually just a little under 1,500, but we'll take it. Good stuff. Dad, I've got to look at timber tomorrow. Actually, I'm on my way to drop the skid steer at the house right now. I just dropped Dad off. And from there, I've got a meeting in Springfield. I had to push back an hour. Dad wanted to eat, and as bad as I was like, ain't got time. I try to make time to do things like that with Dad. You know, just something as simple as eating lunch. Even though I needed to be on the road and unhooked, I went ahead and ate lunch. And I mean, like I said, that's the greatest thing to me about all this is getting to work with Dad every day. So I don't mind pushing the clock back an hour. Everything worked out. But I've got that meeting, and then from there I've got 2 more tracks of timber to look at. My God, traffic. I went to high school. This kid's on the plot in front of him. Carson. But aside from that, 2 tracks of timber to look at this evening, so it's going to be a late night. Early morning, late night. Typical. That's how every day this time of year is. Like, busy season. This is everyday stuff right now. We're doing this every day. I'm cutting and I'm looking every day. That's all I'm doing right now. That's part of where Sheena's come into play. Sheena's kind of my, I guess you can say, delegate or personal assistant in a way. She's handling a lot of things I want to do. I just don't have time to right now. So, I guess that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed today's little login video. Be sure to find us in all the usual spots, because I post on social media outlets as much as I can. Turner Logging LLC at Facebook and Instagram. And you can find Timber Tracker at Facebook and Instagram, and Logger Threads at Facebook and Instagram, as well as the new websites that are, I know I keep talking about that. I know you guys are tired of hearing about it. And that's part of what today's meeting's about. It's about Timber Tracker. It's about Logger Threads, about all that stuff. Work. Hi, guy, whoever that was. Wave. All right, guys, getting off here. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We've got to unhook, and we're going to put the turbocharger to use on this F550 because I hate being late, and I'm going to be cutting her close today. I see speeding tickets in my future. Guys, Thursday. We'll see you later.